and
Oddworld.
Hey oddballs, I'm your host Jensen, and welcome to episode 151. Okay, so this is totally random, but every time I think of 151, I think of Caribou 151 rum. Pineapple juice, a Malibu, Caribou, get them all numb. I'm not going to say the rest of that, but yeah, I'm a Kansas City native. Tech 9 is from Kansas City and totally grew up with that song, so you should check it out. So yeah, there's a little bit about me and a little quirkiness, and back to the show. I am jumping back to the psychic book today, and we are going to discover your powers. So let's go ahead and get into it. It's lesson time. Today's psychic lesson is discover your powers. Believe it or not, you were born psychic. Your abilities are part of your soul's adventures from the past. Throughout this chapter, you will learn how to dig deep in your memory and remember the psychic powers you may have had as a small child, but that you may have gradually repressed as you entered adulthood. Rediscovering these memories will help you reclaim your unique psychic gifts, whether they include psychic dreams, near-death experiences, déjà vu, past life influences, automatic writing, or other types of psychic intuition. Reconnect to your gifts. Psychic development begins at an early age. As a small child, you just used what came naturally to you. You didn't have to think about what you knew. You just knew. Long before you became aware that not everyone knew the same way. Can you remember your first psychic experience? Some of you can probably recall it clearly, while others may have little or no recognition of any psychic experience at all. Chances are that it came to you at a very early age. You may be able to find an older family member or acquaintance who can remember that you talked about some incident that you have consciously forgotten. It could have been a series of circumstances or a single event. All of those past experiences are stored in your unconscious mind. Even as you read these words, you may call to mind something that you haven't thought about in years. Some of you may have powerful memories connected to unexplainable experiences in your past. As you progress through these pages, the goal is for you to be able to define and reconnect your special psychic gifts. Okay, so I'm genuinely excited for this one. And yes, I'm stopping right there. It's kind of a cliffhanger, and I don't mean for it to be that way, but it's just going to start diving into how to break down each one of these gifts that you may or may not have. But one that stood out to me was definitely déjà vu. I had so much of that as a kid, and I still have quite a lot of it as an adult. So I'm not really sure what that's all about, but I'm definitely going to learn about it in a future episode. Let me know if anything comes to mind for you guys. I'm genuinely curious, and let's go ahead and move on to stories.
This comes from an anonymous writer.
I just wanted to share this encounter that happened to me years ago, and I still think about it. I am someone who is very sensitive to people's energy, and I can sense without looking when there is potential danger around me, or just weird people. I live in Toronto, and one day, I got on the subway train during the day. From the second I set foot in the train, I had this intense feeling of someone watching me who had a very strong presence. My eyes went straight to this man who was probably around 25 to 30 years old. He looked a bit younger than me, yet he felt like an old soul. I felt attracted to him, pulled towards him. I wanted to stop looking, but it was really hard to look elsewhere. He was a good-looking person, but nothing extraordinary. He was more on a gothic metal clothing style, had dark wavy and shoulder-length hair, and eyes that were green. His attitude was really cold. He wasn't smiling. He was just there, sitting. There was nothing seductive about his behavior, yet his charisma was out of this world, almost in a not human way. I felt mesmerized and uncomfortable at the same time. I could sense danger. It was mysterious, unnatural and disturbing. I remember vividly his eyes and his energy. It was like I could feel it in my skin. So freaking weird. He had a lot of darkness around him. My first thought was that this person was a vampire. And I removed this thought out of my head because even though I love vampire stories, I know they are fictional. But from time to time, I think about this person entity and I ask myself, are they really just fictional? I have met tons of attractive and charismatic people, but this person was different. I truly believe there was something mystical about him. I'm a spiritual person, and I believe in past lives, spirits, people with unique abilities. So it is easy for me to believe that there are things out there most of us don't know about. Also, I am not saying that this person was a vampire. It is just the first thought that popped in my head. But 100% some paranormal vibes were happening around him. The only thing I can think of is like a really gothic, like scene-ish kind of person. Granted, I grew up in that era. So that's what comes to mind when I think of like gothic. And I'm okay with that, honestly. But vampire. That's interesting. This is definitely not the first vampire encounter. If it is a vampire, it's not the first vampire encounter that I've read. And from what I can recall, these possible vampire encounters are always just very mysterious people. Now, I don't know if it helps that this person already can feel energy as it is, which is kind of crazy because we're also talking about the psychic book today, and maybe that's this person's ability. But I like that this person can feel energies, and the fact that they're really feeling conflicting energies is so bizarre because I feel like this person like wants to go and be next to this potential vampire, but then also they're like, absolutely not, do not go over there. No way. I don't know. It gives me the chills and like also this, it makes me feel weird. It just makes me feel so weird inside. But also like if they are a vampire, I don't know of the vampire scene in Toronto. I know that like New Orleans is known for vampires. So maybe Toronto has an underground vampire gang. Wouldn't that be something? But it makes me wonder, we're going with the vampire theory, but it makes me wonder if this vampire was like putting out feelers to attract people. And fortunately, this person was like, I'm feeling that energy, but also absolutely not. Absolutely not. But okay, hopping off the vampire train real quick, I went to serial killer. That was my honest first thought. I wasn't obviously there, so I can't really, depict what was going on and how this person actually felt and whatnot. Clearly they thought vampire, but me reading it, I was thinking serial killer. And also I was thinking like Ted Bundy type serial killer where everybody, and I don't know why, because he's really not attractive looking, at least to me, but everybody thought he was like super attractive. He was very charismatic. I don't know. That's not paranormal in the slightest bit, but the vampire one is. And I like that theory more than serial killer for some reason. And that might sound crazy to majority of you, but I don't care. I'm a little crazy and that's okay. But I'm curious. I'm curious as to what you guys think. Was this a vampire? Was it a serial killer? Was it just an attractive person with a weird vibe? I don't know. But I want you to tell me. So let's go ahead and move on to the next story.
This comes from President-Ducc on Reddit.
Last night, I think I encountered a shadow person. I'm not sure if it was, but I am pretty sure. I was going to bed last night, and I sleep in a bunk bed type thing with my desk underneath. It was about 1:30 a.m, and when I was just in bed, I closed my eyes and tried to sleep. However, I just couldn't get to sleep, even though I was really tired. I heard this kind of humming noise, and I felt uneasy. I opened my eyes, and I looked up to see a shadow figure glide across me. It had a clear head and shoulders and just disappeared into the wall. After the encounter, I felt slightly sick, and it took me another half hour to get to sleep. Okay, gross. If you've listened to me for a while, you know that I hate when things happen when people are in bed. It's the most disgusting place because that's like your cozy space. That's like the coziest space in your whole house, I would say, for majority of people. And yet, here your bitch ass is ruining it. And then on top of that, they're humming. This thing is humming and gliding across this part. What is going on? Like, doesn't it just make you wonder what these shadow figures are doing at night? I hate it. I hate it so much. And then this person felt sick afterwards, which I would too, but maybe also this shadow figure made them feel sick. I'm just sick reading this story because I really hate it. I really hate when things happen and people are trying to go to bed. That's peak haunting time. It's so stupid, honestly, but it's still scary nonetheless. So shadow things are just, they're so weird. They're so weird, they're spooky, and the fact that it was hovering over this person while they're trying to freaking go to sleep just makes me want to throw up. But if you have any ideas as to what this could be, let me know. If you have a story like either story today or any paranormal story in general, I am all ears. Head on over to my website and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And well, it's an odd world after all. Oddballs, thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to leave 5 stars or thumbs up on whatever podcast platform you listen on. If you have any comments for this episode, comment below or head over to Instagram and comment on this episode's preview. To submit a story or for more information, go to it'sanoddworldafterall.com.